Flat Earth British subscriber channel. Lee speaking. Yeah, so I mean, I haven't done a Vanavlog for quite a while, and for good reason, really, because which I can't really put into words, strangely enough. So, just have to wait for something to come to mind. Yeah, I look shit, I know. I've been through some bad times. Bad times since my last Vanavlog. It's just kind of like trying to reconfigure everything that I perceive as life, because I just kind of got to the point where absolutely everything I suddenly realise is a complete lie. Everything we've been told, everything really bad. And it's just, I mean, everything, absolutely everything, lie after lie. It just all hit me at one go. You know, I've been accumulating, you know, the lies over the years since I've been doing Flat Earth British Sub. And it just comes to the point where I've got so many that just the sheer weight of it, I just crashed. Totally crashed. And of course, there's no recovery from that. I mean, you know, the recovery would be to return to the state that I was in before I accumulated all of the lies. And of course, that's just not going to happen. I'm not going to lie to myself. So, yeah, since my last Vanavlog, really, it's roughly a couple of months. I'm like kind of like in limbo. And when you do a Vanavlog, you know, you need to explain stuff, you know, say things. And just haven't been able to do that. I mean, I've got an hour right now. I've been kind of waiting for like a spare hour during the week at work. I've wanted to do one for a few weeks. It's seeming as I got some requests to do them as well. But it's just been utter mayhem. January, just, if anything could go wrong, it went wrong. Just amazing. I mean, like with work, Friday I had a disciplinary hearing. $5 hours. It's a 3-hour journey there by van and a 3-hour journey back. and a 5-hour, it's just under 5 hours, just under, interrogation. I had to defend myself, and they were going to sack me. Not that I really cared, but I was just curious, so I just went along with it, and kept my job. Which is completely ludicrous. Why would I want to keep my job? Why would I want to carry on being a slave? Why would you want that? You know. Yeah, I know I shouldn't drink water from plastic bottles. But, you know, the whole self-preservation thing that I've been on for about 7 years, avoiding foods and taking supplements, you know, and all that kind of stuff to maintain my physical body, it's you know, it's lost to me now. It's just completely lost to me. You know, there really is no definitive explanation for life. And all you've got is just theories about what it is, you know, from a religious point of view, atomic point of view, interdimensional point of view, etc., etc., etc. But there's no definitive answer. And if there was, everybody would know it, because as soon as as soon as it's spoken and somebody listened, they would know it was absolutely the definitive truth about what life is. And of course, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And, you know, with that in my mind, the last couple of months since I've done a Vanavlog, you know, I'm just watching everybody just what are they doing? You know, it's so ludicrous. You know, maybe they get a job and they get a car or a house or whatever, or they get married and they have kids, or, you know, whatever. You know, they're just following a pattern, just rules and regulations and traditions and emotional blackmail. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. And nothing's achieved. Mankind isn't achieving anything. And really, the boundaries are set in life and there's no way out. You know, I mean, surely that should be the pursuit of all mankind, to get out of this. But no. Too busy being religious, too busy having kids, raising kids. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I can see the craziness of it all, and it's the pointlessness of it all. And everyone is just so obsessed with it all. Obsessed, you know? Obsessed with how they look, or I mean, a lot of the Vanavlogs I did with my old channel that doesn't exist anymore, and the vlogs, a lot of it was me kind of like explaining what things aren't, and in the hope that with the absence of the lies in your mind, you could do something else, kind of thing. And I would try to think of practical ways. I've thought of like picture language, describing things and analogies and etc. But I'm not so sure that's the answer anymore. Because when you eliminate all of the lies, what's left? Is it truth? And if it is truth, then what is the truth in the absence of all lies? You've just got animals, humans, nature. If you take away religion, if you take away education, what would you be doing exactly? Would you have a sense of creativeness unrestricted within yourself? I think was it last year? Last year, I don't know if it was 3 weeks or a month. There was no government in Britain. It was completely utter just nothing. There was no government. And everyone in Britain could have gone completely berserk, like breaking into shops, breaking into homes, killing each other, and blah, 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 blah. And absolutely nothing happened. Everybody just carried on doing what they do, I mean, you've got people in life that they just, for whatever reason, they just get off on harming other people, making their lives a misery, so that they can laugh themselves to sleep. You have people like that. If they don't wind someone up during the day or cause some harm, they can't sleep. They're frustrated. But they're a minority of people. And whether you've got a government in place or not, those people will just do what they do. And as for the rest of us, we do what we do, regardless if there's a government or not. Which just goes to show that you don't really need a government and you don't need the system to be controlled, to make you a nice person and not hurt anybody, or to protect you from the curious few who just desire to harm people in one way or another. So yeah, for me, government, rules, regulations, all that bollocks. Not needed, completely unnecessary, and not a guideline for me to follow at all. What I do find is that we're all in a trap and no way out. Unless, of course, everybody joined together and just said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. There's got to be a better way to live, to exist, or to be. Because how can you be yourself if you're following somebody else's dreams? So like the British government, their dream is to control you if you're British. Or the World Health Organization, That's their dream, and you're living their dream. I'm living their dream. But the point is, you can't be yourself, can you? You know? Wasn't there a saying? A house divided against itself can't stand. So, well, a football team, you know, if they've got divisions among themselves and they're fighting against each other in house, when it comes to them being a team, they're not. It's as simple as that. And that's how the system works with all humanity. Divides us with religion, racism, wealth, rich, poor, you name it. Catholic, Islam, the list is endless. And it works, because that's the world we live in. Also, I'm a bit on hold at the moment. Over the last 2 months, I've had like information just kind of pop into my head, I suppose. Whether it be listening to the radio, watching a movie, going on TikTok or YouTube, watching Fat Earth British and associated channels content. And it's built up a picture which last couple of weeks it's kind of like dwindled, the kind of urgency and significance of it. So I don't know, but I'll tell you in a minute. So this is the scenario that kind of amalgamated into a theory, if you want. So, I don't know if you know about the Phoenicians, if you listen to me or Martin about the Phoenicians. So basically in the past, I'll say in the past, there was a war between the Phoenicians and the rest of the world. Phoenicians lived on the sea, dominated the sea, made up all the trade routes from continents and islands across the world. And through doing that, the entire world became rich and became one, like one nation, you know, not like Americans, Africans, Russians. It was just one nation. Some people call it Tartaria. It doesn't fucking matter what the name is. They decided we took on a one world currency, and what happened is the people on the land set value to all items. Anything for, you know, for commerce, it's a set price for everyone. So the Phoenicians, who were the traders, they need a variance in prices for them to make a profit. Buy something cheap somewhere and sell it very expensive somewhere else. And so when you had a price fix, that was the end of the Phoenicians and their trade and everything. And so, as you can imagine, it came to war. And the Phoenicians won. Now, there's a gap. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But if you go to John Levi's channel, it kind of sticks around the 1800s, when you've got cities in the world that are completely empty, and then you've got thousands of people suddenly turning up at train stations and boats, all dressed in black, and going completely crazy with the technology that they found, like crashing trains into each other, and, you know, just crazy shit. Now, the 1800s, that is a similar kind of example of what's going on, because when the Phoenicians won, they kept a remnant of everyone that lived on the land, probably children, and then re-educated them, erased the history of everything that they'd done, and then put them back here. And as far as I know, it's 3 or 4 resets, according to Martin Leaker, that he's kind of pinned down in history. It's been 4 of them, but who knows how many more times it's actually happened. And their technology is completely just, it's like it permeates other dimensions. I mean, it's just so completely out of this world, the technology, and it's all water based. So they got to the point where they have absolutely everything. But there's one thing that they don't have. And they could never completely get rid of all humanity because of it. And if I say it's the purpose, it's their purpose to get something from us. Now, most people's opinion about, what is mankind, what does he do? Most people just say, well, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't produce anything as such. I mean, he doesn't really contribute to nature or anything. Doesn't, he's just nothing. What do they do? I mean, if you go to the animal kingdom, there's like a chain, predator and prey, stuff like that. Mankind's not like that at all. So what is it that is so valuable about mankind that the Phoenicians cannot buy or have? Well, it's your living experience, the way you see things, the way you think about things, your memory. Your memories over, say, 80 years, not that I believe in time, but anyway, don't want to confuse you, so I'll just stick with time. 80 years worth of memory. Just because you can't remember it, it doesn't mean that your memories can't be extracted at a later date. Your emotions, it's all of these things. And every reset, the rules are changed. The rules aren't the same. Well, they may be similar. Like, for example, I think it was the 1600s reset. Christianity existed. But scenarios were different. Like, for example, Jesus wasn't crucified on a cross on a hill. He was crucified on a mast of a ship. The centre mast. He was crucified on the ship. And the crown of thorns was the crow's nest, which sits on the top mast. It's a lookout point. If you're a sailor on a boat, you're the all-seeing eye. So that's where the all-seeing eye thing comes from. It just comes from a previous bit of information from, a couple of resets ago that just managed to sort of get through, And that's why, everything about Christianity is all water-based, you must be baptised in holy water, on and on it goes. And, the system that we live by today is all water commerce law, it's all maritime law. The words that we use, it's all to do with bits of previous resets and a system that humanity lived in sort of just crossed over to here, just tweaked. And so all humanity is all experiencing the same shit. And everybody's going to have a different reaction, So like, someone steps on your toe, one person might punch them. Another person might run away. But everybody would have a different experience. And that's something you cannot buy. It's not something you can make. So it's always not going to be commerce. So that's why we keep getting reset. It'll get to a point and they'll be happy, with everybody that's come and gone and are still living, and we'll just be farmed. We'll just be farmed. All of our memories and everything like that. And probably the other things as well. I don't know, do organ harvesting or stuff. I don't know. I can't really see it. I mean, the technology is so great. It could like synthesize anything, if that's the right word. I don't know. But, I mean, like, on TikTok the other day, I said, there's a brain in your heart, apparently. Some kind of neurons or something like that in your heart. It's like a brain in the heart. So you could argue that it's not just a skeleton that retains your entire life information, but it could also be the organs as well. It could be. It's one of the two. As I say, it's only been a few weeks, really. It's been on my mind. And I just got this year, May Day, May the 1st, that they could be coming back. I mean, that's just stuff that's just been coming into my head, and exactly what would I do in the event that it happens? And the best thing I could think of would be to strip yourself naked, cover yourself in goose fat, and go to the middle of a field and just crawl around on your knees and your elbows, and try to be like an animal. Because the Phoenicians are actually animals, they're not humans. Yeah. I mean, the Phoenicians, they're the perfect mediator between mankind, and the animal kingdom. They could communicate. We can communicate to the animal kingdom through them. I know it sounds a bit wild. I can't be asked to explain everything about why, but briefly, Cain killed Abel, and then he married a Phoenician. So when it comes to when God was bringing all the animals to Adam to be named, and to see which one would be a suitable helper, I'm guessing a Phoenician would have been the last one that God presented to Adam to see if it would be a suitable helper. And it wasn't, because it would have been Adam's choice. So even as far as God was concerned, a Phoenician would have been the perfect helpmeet. That's God's opinion, not Adam's. And Adam had free will, so Adam could say no. And so God, made Eve out of Adam. And we don't know how old Cain and Abel were when Cain killed Abel. And obviously, animals breed. and so would have the Phoenicians. So anyway, yeah. So yeah. So I think like if you kind of just like behave like an animal. So like, let's just say like in May, it might not be May. It could be any day. Who knows? I'm just thinking May at the moment. I think you can hide in plain sight. I think if you hide, like go underground or camouflage yourself, find a dead tree and hide inside, they'll find you. They'll find you. For some reason, they're really good at finding things. But they hide in plain sight. And it's a trait of them. So if you mimic them and you hide in plain sight, they won't see you. So first off, you're going to smell like a goose. You're not going to be standing up on two legs. You're going to be in the middle of a field or the edge of a field. I think they'll just pass over you. A Passover. I say goose fat not only for the smell, but it keeps you warm. People that swim in the sea cover themselves in goose fat. No, sea swimmers, cover themselves in goose fat. It keeps the warmth in. So, if there's a there's going to be a mud flood or something to follow, isn't it? Or the Phoenicians, whether it's before they turn up or after they've gone. You need to be able to keep warm, but also to remain hidden. In plain sight. The other thing is, don't look up. They make a buzzing sound when they fly, and their light is like magnesium. It burns your eyes. You'll go blind. So you definitely can't look up at them. You've got to just keep your head down, and preferably your eyes closed until the sound's gone, and then you should be all right. I mean, that's the best idea I've got at the moment, based on the things that I've learned. I'm sure there's something better, but I mean, I was thinking about animal skins, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, sorry, yeah, and empty your mind. Some people have said meditate. I can understand that. But what I'm thinking is think of 3 objects and give them different names. So, I don't know, a lighter, a phone, and a key, a van key. So whenever I look at those 3 items, I will not call them by their names. I'll call them by something else. Just make up a word. And just focus on that. Like draw pictures of it. of the objects, and perhaps even write your new word for those things. And if you found yourself in a situation in the middle of a field covered in goose fat, and you can hear the buzzing and the lights getting brighter and brighter and brighter, I'd say just focus on those three things. Just say them over and over and over in your head. I think that will block you from them, because they are after your mind. So, if you're doing that, first, it won't make any sense to them. And if that's only those three things you're thinking of, well, it's hardly worth them dropping down and taking you away, is it? It's not going to be. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So yeah, May the 1st. Yeah, I mean, the last week or two, I haven't really, it's just been dwindling in my head. But, for about a month before that, I was really shitting myself, thinking like, oh, for fuck's sake, of course it is. That's what's been going on all along. That's why you keep getting fucking resets. And then, and then it's, all the history is erased. As we've seen on Flat Earth British, it all fits perfectly. So obviously not a long term plan. It's just, when shit hits the fan, what to do kind of thing. Suggestion. And although it sounds ludicrous, what I'm saying, it's no more ludicrous than the absurdity of the way that mankind lives their life, without proper answers or explanations. It's all done by faith and belief. Yeah? Everything. And it is completely absurd. And I face this every day. The absurdity of when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, and I get my download, this is you, this is what you've got to do, this is your wife, this is your cats, you've got to be here at this time, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this and that. And I'm like, oh, it's just so completely absurd. Am I really going to get up and do all this? Because I just feel like a right cunt, like a total fucking twat. And then, I get up, go through it all, watch everyone else acting like a fucking idiot. It's just fucking... And it's completely fucking mental. What I've described about the Phoenicians sounds exactly the same. So, at best, I'm on an equal footing with the rest of the stupid people on Earth. I don't think the government knows. If it is this May, they don't know. Because they're still ploughing ahead with Agenda 21. They've got the surveillance cameras everywhere now. Everyone vaccinated. climate lockdowns are going to come up next year. They're going to start doing that. Prison cities, whole lot. And they're full steam ahead. So that's comforting. In one way, that means the Phoenicians aren't coming in May. Or two, it means when the Phoenicians come, they're going to get theirs as well. You know, Phoenicians will take them as well. Which is a nice thought. So yeah, you know, when you're completely bored because you've got absolutely everything, like, you know, like for example, let's just say I worked for a company. They were owned by a husband. The company was owned by a husband and a wife. Multi-millionaires. And they've pretty much done everything with all of their money. And there's nothing else to do. So they didn't sell their company, they kept it. And even to this day, they still run it. They don't have to, they don't need the money. But it's the interaction with other people. You know, like them, they're in charge, they make the rules. It's kind of like live TV for them, you know. And they write the plots, kind of thing. And then enjoy, whether for ill or for some other reason that it's important to them, watch what everybody does around them, reacting to every plot that they set out in these people's lives every day. And that's the only thrill, entertainment that these multi-millionaires can have now. You know, because they've done it all. They've done it all. You know, and they're still only in their, like, 50s. You know. And it's the same with the Phoenicians. I don't know if it's a animalistic trait, and they will always succumb to it. But yeah, you know. Now, when you look at antiquity and the past, you know, the beauty of everything, now, I honestly don't know if it was, you know, united mankind that did all that, or if it was the Phoenicians that did all that. Don't know. I mean, you know, they coexisted, you know, while they were doing trade and everything all over the world, across the world. So maybe they worked together, I don't know. I mean, if history wasn't hidden, I'd be able to give you a full fucking explanation of everything, you know? Or I wouldn't need to, because Martin would have got there before me, because he was fucking into this well ahead of me. Or wise up. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. So, I've had a lot of things going through my mind last couple of months. It's strange when I do a Vanavlog that I can't remember them all. But they're like small things, you know. It's not like what I just told you about Phoenicians. That's a biggie, so I'm not going to fucking forget that anytime soon. Although it seems less urgent at the moment. I don't know if I just got used to the idea. You know, it's better to be ready. Do you like my surveys, by the way, on my channel? You know, if you go to community tab on YouTube, I've been doing some surveys. Some good answers in there. What's the time? Like, for example, I just remembered one.
That you need
a bit more. Yeah, there's no such thing as time. So what is time? That we experience that isn't time. Well, we're in a container. And we exist within the container. And you can't get out of the container. And the container was here before you was born. But you were still in the container. You was in your mother and your father, and their mothers and fathers, and their mothers and fathers, and their mothers and fathers. It's always been in the container. It just hasn't formed to a certain Phoenician criteria where you think that you exist. And then when you're dead, you still don't leave the container. So you're always in the container. So time is a myth. You're always in the container, whether you don't exist like this, or you're dead. You still exist in the container. You cannot get out of the container. Within the container, there's like currents, if you want. There's a kind of movement. And you are in those currents in the container. So, truth be told, ever since this all began, everything, existence, not before, as soon as it started, we existed within a container. Because you can't get out of the container. And you can't put anything into the container. And by rights, we should be able to access the beginning and the end of the container. If there is an end, if there is an end, perhaps there, I mean, an end as in its existence. You know, the container's finite. It's not infinite. You can't argue with me. You can't argue with me. You've always existed. And you always will. In one form or another. subjected by the waves that are going around this place. Yeah, a bit like a helicopter, that sound, but faster. Phoenicians, I mean, the sound when they fly. Well, they'll come from the sky, because the sky is the sea. And we're kind of like, we're upside down. Kind of like, if you want, capsized, if you like. When they come out of the sea, and they hit the membrane, which is like the air that we breathe, but it's just a thin layer of water. You've got a roof, which is the ground, but upside down. So you've got like the roof of the earth, and all the people that are standing on two legs, they know that that's a ripe fruit. It's ripe. That's the thing that you need to get. But if it's on four legs, they don't pick it up, because it's not the right fruit. It's not the right thing that they've come for. You know? Just the other reason why I said goose fat and elbows and knees. Yeah, I mentioned time. Yeah, since December, you know, a lot of stuff that Martin and I have said over the last 3 years, I suppose, you know, undoing everything, all of the lies. It's taken that long for me to watch clips on TikTok of people saying exactly the same things. But I'm surprised just how far the message has gone, you know. I mean, I knew the day when, you know, we fucking got it, and we fucking got it, found out who the fucking Phoenicians were and everything like that. And I said to Mike, this is gonna be like a chain reaction event. You can't shut this down now. It will just spread. It will just spread, and it has. It has. It has. But what I've told you about the Phoenicians, I haven't told anybody, apart from one person, about it. But, you know, since the world seems to be waking up, you know, we've set the chain reaction in motion, and so quickly everybody is at like the same level. I just thought, I think it's, you know, now's the time to just fucking come out with it and say, you know, I think this is what's going on. And, you know, just my suggestions. I mean, you know, I mean, who wants to fucking smother themselves in goose fat and fucking, you know, graze in the middle of a fucking field like a fucking cow? You know, no one wants to do that. Obviously, I don't want to do it. You know, if there was a better idea, you know, I'd definitely go for it. You know, but I can't think of anything. But if you can, please, save me the fucking humiliation. of having to do that. You know? I mean, you can see you know, the nation of world government, how they view us. They view us as cattle. You know, they do. They herd us all the time. But you know, like the 1800s inheritors, as John Levi famously once announced, you know, that word inheritors. Obviously, some of a percentage of those inheritors would have been educated or indoctrinated in a particular way to give them the advantage over everybody else. And I would surmise that that's how, you know, your barons and your lords and all that kind of people got into the positions of power. But I don't think that they would have been told the truth about the Phoenicians. And the reason being is, for some reason we discovered that they have to be hidden in plain sight. It's their rule. And if you found out who they were and what their name was, then it's game over. And I was a bit scared at the time, because I'm thinking, shit, have I just started the reset clock? But you know, I mean, I feel the same now as I did back then. I just don't want this shit to carry on anymore. I'm just fed up of, you know, everybody suffering. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think they would have been told about the Phoenicians. They would have been told. And so that's why I think that they don't know when they're coming. This Vanavlog isn't that bad, actually. I thought it'd be a lot harder to do it than it is. I mean, I'm not really kind of having to think, you know. You know, I'm just telling you the experience of my life over the last couple of months. And I've drunk a lot too much alcohol, too much, like over a couple of days here and now. And that hasn't helped. Because alcohol's a bit of a depressant. Yeah, it's a bit of a depressant. So it's kind of added like a new dimension to the hopelessness and the pointlessness of the whole existence of life, you know. Just a new dimension of like despair. Whereas before I started doing that, I had all the information and everything in my head, but there wasn't really kind of like any emotion attached to it, because it's all too much to take on board all at the same time. You're not really sure what your feelings are going to be, because there's just so many different things, so many atrocities, so many variants of utter stupidity, and so many blah blah blah, and so many blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know how I feel right now. But then with the alcohol, it makes you depressed. And I kind of just summed it all up in depression, really. Well, in a way, it worked. I don't think I could ever be happy again. On what basis could I ever be happy? I mean, there's no return to ignorance. There's no return to ignorance. I mean, I don't know. Let's just say tomorrow, my company said, you know, Lee, we've made such a dreadful mistake. We've really kind of misread you, and you really are a genuine guy. And, you know, we admire the way that you calmly, you know, went through a 5-hour interrogation thing, and, you know, with humility and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, we're going to make you a supervisor, and we're going to give you £10,000 a year more as a thank you. Now, if this was 10 years ago, I was completely ignorant to everything going on. My gosh, I'd be having a party. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy and happy and happy. But now, you know, if they said, oh, we want to make you a supervisor, well, I'm indifferent. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not naive anymore. I'm not... Things that it doesn't mean anything. I don't live that kind of a lie. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, if like, you know, and if you had one of those meetings where all the, you know, rulers of kingdoms on earth get together to discuss our demise at one place, and someone dropped a bomb on it and blew them all up, I mean, that would make me happy for a little while. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, I'm just clutching at straws, really. I couldn't think of anything that means anything. You know, it's all ludicrous. Everything. If I got my old channel back, I just get the Vanavlogs, that's all. It doesn't matter about the other stuff. it'd be nice to have a catalogue of my first ever Vanavlog all the way up till today, doing this one. Anarchy. Anarchy. Why do they call it anarchy? I mean, you know, we're taught in school, you know, that law and order, you know, it maintains society, it keeps everything peaceful and everybody knows what they're doing and blah, 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 blah. And if you fight against it, it's anarchy. But, you know, as an adult, and I'm looking about law and order, what they call law and order, it's not the same thing, is it? It's not law and order. It's not there for your good. It's there to make you suffer, to take away your freedoms. Well, and the list goes on and on and on, as you know. I wonder if I can drive using my other phone. Otherwise, I'm going to have to end it here. I haven't really spoken about much. Fucking Phoenicians. I just don't know why. Why did they stack all the skeletons in the catacombs? I mean, I know you get electricity from them, piezoelectricity. I suppose after a mud flood, you don't really have an infrastructure, do you? And you do need a power source. Maybe it's just that. But I really do think that, you know, your whole life is etched onto your skeleton, you know, and inside the skeleton. Because blood goes through your skeleton as well, through your bones. I don't know if I've got internet on this. Fucking 0%. Bastard. I'm not going to be able to do this anyway. What's the time? So that'd be 1:35. No, it's too early, I can't go yet. That's fine. So strange, I just can't remember stuff. Well, the whole thing about wanting to survive a reset is to inform the inheritors the truth, inform them of the truth. I mean, maybe I'll start doing Vanavlogs again, you know, and then, you know, I can follow on from this, and the next stage, and the next stage, and bigger picture, bigger picture. I can feel there's something there. It's kind of like an awareness of my future self, but time doesn't exist. I exist everywhere in a container. It's just a matter of awareness, becoming aware of yourself. In a way, we're kind of like compartmentalized. Every minute, every second, every day, every hour, every year of your life, kind of like compartmentalized, but you're still whole, you know, you're still whole. It's our perception of ourselves which is fragmented because time doesn't exist. And so, you know, like for me, you know, like the whole thing about the Phoenicians, I mean, it was a guess about May Day. I can't remember what led me to think that, apart from the word May Day. May Day, May Day. But, you know, that day has already happened. If it hadn't, I wouldn't be able to tell you about it. But as sure as resets have come and gone, they will return and continue. Or better, for me to say that they're all happening right now. They're all happening right now. The thing is that if you could conceptualize something, then it's possible. So, you know, maybe it will come up on more Vanavlogs. We'll navigate a path to find out how to become self-aware in all things. Our reincarnations, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, for most people, they know that things are wrong in the world. and they know there's a better way, but they don't know how or why, and they don't know how or why they don't know. And the same, yeah, no, just leave it there. Just leave it there. No, carry on. Instinctively, everybody knows this. Everybody knows. And the only reason they know is because they exist on other levels simultaneously as they live in the now. And that's the point of reference as to why everybody knows. It's the same with instinct with animals. People ponder, isn't it? How does a bird know how to build a nest? It's never seen one being built. It was built while they were still an egg. And then we're told, oh, it's genetics, fucking DNA, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. It's not. I mean, if you consider humanity and all of the deception that it's fooled with, you couldn't apply that to the animal kingdom because they just don't fucking understand. So they've got a clear perception of themselves in the entirety of this container because there's nothing feeding them bullshit, you know, to disconnect them, apart from us eating them, I suppose. So that's where their instinct comes from. It's not instinct. It's just a saturated perception of their own selves compared to our compartmentalized bullshit perception of ourselves that we get every day. No, the answers, the answers aren't logical. The answers aren't logical. Our field of logic and perception is so contained, it's so narrow. And it's so compacted, it doesn't bear any resemblance to everything around it, above it, below it, you know? it's a real pain in the ass for me, you know, because you know I want answers, or just find a way out of all this. But you know, I might as well be talking about alternate dimensions where none of the rules that apply here apply there, and between those other dimensions, none of the rules are reciprocated or copied or anything like that. And the thing is we exist now in those other dimensions, you know, and that's the problem we've got. Compartmentalized. It's just, it's astounding. Just, you know, walking amongst people every day, and everything that they think that is important. You know, the clothes that they wear, is it Vogue? You know, just silly, stupid things that are just of no consequence whatsoever to anything. It's just utter madness. It's like a lunatic asylum. You know, if you went to a lunatic asylum and started talking to people in there, and they're just coming out with like crazy shit, you know, that's how it feels for me. And the thing is the people in the world, you know, they seriously believe it all. They seriously believe that there is an intrinsic value in, you know, having a mortgage or being a Catholic or, you know, watching porn. I don't know. But there isn't. You know, it's just like wasting time, for want of a better phrase, and achieving nothing. You know, all of their aspirations come to nothing, and then they die. You know, so long as you're going to die, what is the point in anything that you do? You know, what is the point? Maybe there is a point, but does it have any intrinsic value? Is there actually any real point to it? Is there any point for themselves? I mean, you know, we all live like slaves, and other people profit from us, make lots of money out of us. But you know, that's not self-value. You know, we devalue ourselves the way that we live, so that others may profit from us. And then culture, fashion, arts, music is there to bolster that, to try and make you feel good about devaluing yourself every day. I mean, it's nuts. It's totally nuts. I just can't see the point in it. It's completely nuts. Other than it's based on a system of commerce and the Phoenicians and harvesting humanity. You know, it's just the same fucking story, hidden in plain sight. Just smoke and mirrors and sparkly things and music and vibration. people are so serious about it as well. So serious. I mean, in my job, I visit lots of places, lots of different places, nurseries, hospitals, public buildings, government buildings. You know, in some of these places, you know, you'll have like a manager. And my gosh, they really take their job seriously. Just unbelievable. You know, I just think to myself, like, get a life. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. Why are you so anal about procedures and stuff like that? You know, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, but they're so into it, you know, so utterly into it, like it was, they were fighting for their life. It's just a job. It's bananas. Totally bananas. So now, 1 o'clock. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess this was like a break the mold Vanavlog, because I haven't done one for a while, and I kind of lost my way. So yeah, if I do another one, hopefully, I just have to start writing down my thoughts, you know, during the week. Yeah, probably do that, I suppose. Yeah, anyway, so this is Flat Earth British Sub, and catch you next time.